Welcome to Stepwise with Dr. Bob. We go ahead and look at today's Minute Cryptic. Apparel store discounting item of clothing with odd scent. Question mark. Okay, so question mark, stretchy definition. Apparel store, I guess, could be something that sells apparel and they're stretching that thought a little bit. Odd and counting here makes me think every other letter, even with only 6 letters to get, that means that 12 letters is at most that we're counting if it's just the odd letters, but perhaps it's odd of scent, which is just S-E-T. Um, let's take a look. Part two, apparel store. I guess this could be a proper noun. Apparel could just be clothing. Shirts, slacks, store, apparel store, discounting item of clothing. So is there an item of clothing in here that we could get rid of that kind of spans this? I don't see anything jumping out at me there. Discounting item of clothing with odd. I-E-O. That's not a good start. Hmm, interesting. Scent. Still think odd scent could just be S-E-T. Item of clothing. So if this did end in S-E-T, a discounting from an apparel store could be an offset, could be a rebate. I don't know how I get to rebate from here, but it could be a rebate. Um, Discounting also suggests to me that we're getting rid of some counting stuff. So, for example, if I looked in here and saw the number 3, I would get rid of that. But nothing is screaming count. I mean, counting is kind of a stretch just to say any number would be. Discounting is a sale. What's an item of clothing with 3 letters? Hat, cap, bra, sock, shoe, pants, shirt, skirt, jacket. Apparel store. So any apparel store discounting, I would think would be the same as a regular store discounting. So it makes me suspicious that this would not be the entire, that would not be the definition. I would think that the definition is apparel store, apparel, or somewhere over here. Odd cent, maybe just cent. So let me think more about apparel store. Clothes is 7 letters. Apparel, gear. Apparel store, discounting. Discounting means bringing down, potentially removing. I have to believe that's an indicator. And if it is, what does it mean? It's acting on either. Again, I would think that I'd be able to find some sort of an item of clothing that I'd be taking out of that store discounting item. Is this fodder that is actually an actual apparel store? Old Navy, that type of thing, and then subtract off an item of clothing from within that. That seems awfully stretchy. You'd have to find two different replacements for that to work. What am I missing that's an item of clothing? I mean, I don't see anything in here that is. Yeah, not seeing that. Discounting item of clothing with odd scent. Odd scent again just screams taking the odd letters of scent, but that obviously isn't getting me anywhere. So I think I have to rethink that. But I'm so super. Odd scent. If hat set meant something, or if cap set meant something, or if bra set meant something, I would be much happier with what I was thinking. Is there something I'm missing? Something scent. I don't think an apparel store is offset. I'm just gonna hit go there. Yeah. I would have kicked myself if it was offset for some reason. I mean, discounting. Yeah, I'm stretching here. Is there anything else I'm missing that could be an indicator? Apparel. I guess apparel could be seen as clothing. Meaning, I was trying to think both clothing and apparel could mean the outer two letters. But discounting is kind of separated from both of those words, so I don't see how to strip away the outer letters and get anything useful. Apparel store. I mean, how do I discount an item of clothing anywhere in here? Even taking other letters. How about odd letters? A, P, R, L, T, R. What does that leave? It leaves the even letters. P, A, E, S, O, E. Yeah, there's nothing good there. Set is good. I like odd scent to leave SET, but clearly I'm not getting anywhere with that. Apparel store. I don't know many. Apparel. I named a lot of apparel. Gear, jacket. That's some apparel. The question mark suggests that this is a bit stretchy, but I'm having a hard time stretching it. I'm not flexible enough, I guess, right now. HFGO member, what have you done to me? Apparel store discounting. Again, maybe separating this. This goes with this somehow, but counting item of clothing with odd. That's it's cleaner than whatever I'm thinking of, I'm sure. I think I gotta take a hint. But what am I gonna do? If I take a hint and this tells me the indicators, I mean, I'm fairly confident it's gonna tell me that discounting is an indicator. Odd. If it does, then I would be stuck where I am, store, trying to discount an item of clothing and putting that with the word set. Nope, not getting it there either. So if I was to take the fodder, taking the fodder should also tell me where the definition is, and I can figure out the. I'll do that. Item, clothing, and scent. We'll need to find a substitute for one of these words. and use it with the letters of the others to construct our answer as guided by the clue's indicators. So odd is very likely still our, so I'm even more confident in SET now. But why is of? The clue's fodder is item, clothing, and scent. We'll need to find a substitute for one of these words and use it with the letters of the others. Letters of the others. Well, if we use the letters of scent, S-E-T, what letters am I using from item? Discounting item, and then a substitute for clothing? Gosh, I'm still set on set. I mean, if the whole thing was an apparel store, do I know any stores that end in SET? Isn't helping yet. I was caught off by the font of that Z. All right, well, I didn't get there. Store discounting. Yeah. I'm not seeing what discounting means, and I'm guessing I'm going to take the indicator hint, and it's going to tell me what discounting means. Store is not fodder. So, I mean, our definition is either apparel, it's probably apparel store, unless store is like a indicator, like to store this with this. So the whole thing could just mean apparel, but either way, definition's either apparel or apparel store. Oh, all right. Item is thing. Discounting item of clothing leaves us with closet. And that's where you store apparel, is in your closet. Should I have gotten that sooner? item is a thing. Discounting item of clothing. Maybe. Uh, yeah, I'll blame myself. I'll blame myself and be happy I got it here with one under par. All right. Hope you enjoyed. Thanks for watching.